Hey everybody, Phil Carruth, Comedy, Cigars, and Music, and today's cigar for review is the Flor Dominicana Coronado. And it is the wee hours of the morning out here. Off the foot and wrapper, I'm getting caramel, chocolate, cream, and spice. And while I'm just sitting here actually kind of looking at this cigar, it's actually quite toothy and pretty oily. So let's see what we get. Alright, so right off the bat here with this cigar, on the pull, retrohale, and finish, just a nice earth there. Maybe a little bit of sweetness there on the finish as well. And there is, on the pull, there's just a little bit of saltiness in there. So the aroma off the foot's nice and sweet. Kind of has a earthy, caramely sweetness to the aroma. Draw, no problem with the draw whatsoever. Cool. Might not realize this, but to prepare for my shows, there's a whole process, or shows, I say shows, it's not a show. I usually lock myself away in a room, and I just, in my head, I go over some things, and then before I go out of my room, I usually tell myself, where my crew at? If you're on social media, quite a bit, I've just made some observations, which I'm sure I'm not alone, but I just kind of think it's funny, different things people post. And one thing that I think is funny is, and not to be insensitive, but people that'll post things about people that have passed away. And I don't mean like, you know, good memories or something like that, but I mean more very specifically, actually, people that post how old the person would have been if they were still alive.
Now, if my great-great-grandpa was still alive, right now he'd be 162. Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
A little bit of spice coming on that finish. Still that sweetness there too. Speaking of funny posts, how much longer do you think we're going to do selfies? You know? I don't know, there's something weird about that. I mean, selfies are a little narcissistic, aren't they? Kind of? A little bit? Okay, so we are rounding out the first third of this cigar. Earth has been the primary flavor with some ginger snap cookie in there and some black pepper spice. Retrohale is earth and that ginger snap cookie. And then on the finish is also the earth and some ginger snap cookie. And just here within the last couple pulls, there's been a little bit of a spice, like all the way back at the very top of my mouth in the back, and the top of my tongue at the back. Kind of a white pepper spice, I would say. So I'm one of those people that, not all the time, but every so often will actually converse with a telemarketer. And one of my favorite calls was, you might not think this is funny at all. I thought it was humorous, maybe humorous at best. And it's one of those telemarketer calls, I don't know if you guys have ever gotten them before, where they're talking about your computer or whatever, and they've identified some PC in your house that has a virus or whatever. They say, all we have is Macs. But I went along with it, and I told them that, hey, actually we only have 2 Macs, but the only PC we have is a laptop that my grandpa has in his bedroom, because my grandpa's living with us right now, which actually my grandpa never lived with us, but hey, it's all part of the fun, right? And I said the thing is, that laptop was bought specifically for him so he could look up pornography. That's all he does on that computer. And the guy asked me, oh, okay, well, do you have access to that computer? I said, well, here's the thing. I said, we have this little agreement with my grandpa that if his door is closed, he's using the computer. And he asked me, well, is the door closed? He actually went through this process with me. I said, well, actually, let me go check. So I walked upstairs, or I didn't walk upstairs, I pretended I was walking upstairs, and I said, I got some bad news. the door is closed, and a little bit of leather on that finish right there. I said the door is closed, so you and I both know what's going on in there, right, sir? And he hung up. It's fun. Sometimes I'll just mimic the voice that they have, or the accent they have, and I don't do that to make fun. Maybe I do it to make fun, actually. Never mind. Yeah, I do it to make fun. Sorry. Alrighty, we are well into the second third, and flavor-wise, still that earth on the flavors, a little bit of sweetness. It's not so much that ginger snap cookie, it's not as clear as that, it's just a little hint of sweetness, and that black pepper spice is still there. On the retrohale, earth and that black pepper spice is coming in a little bit more on the retrohale now. Finish is kind of that earth, a little bit of spice, a little bit of that like white pepper spice, but that's kind of dying down. I can just barely get that right now. And there is a little sweetness there. For me, I would say this is a pretty mild cigar, which is, there's no problem with that. So I'm not really a mild cigar guy, but I'm not going to knock the cigar for being what it's probably designed to be. So if you're a mild cigar person, you might enjoy this one. You know those guys that are kind of like, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, nice to women on social media. And I don't mean just nice to women. I mean, everybody should be nice to women on social media or otherwise. But the guys that are like creepy nice to women.
Now listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Cheryl, I'm sorry that you had that kind of encounter with the customer service lady at the grocery store. If I were there, it'd have ran a lot different, I can tell you that much. Ain't nobody getting one on me. By the way, I really enjoyed that picture you posted back on June 2nd of 2015. That picture of you in the new bikini. I really like that one.
And by the way, the burn on the cigar has been good. Alright, finishing out the cigar here. Flavor-wise, earth, black pepper, that sweetness kind of transitioned into a graham cracker. That was good. On the retrohale, really still just earth and some sweetness. I think I had mentioned there was some black pepper spice in that retrohale before. There's not really that anymore. It's just kind of that earth and sweetness. On the finish, that white pepper spice has come back, actually, kind of over pretty much my whole tongue. And it's just a little more intense than it had been. Nothing overwhelming, just a little more intense. Also on the finish, just a little bit of leather coming in. I have had fruitiness from time to time, and there is this kind of underlying sweetness there as well. So that's all right. I would say this cigar, I had said before it was kind of a mild cigar. I would say it's kind of ramped up, I would say more now to a medium. It's kind of like a mild medium cigar is what I would say. I did end up having one minor burn touch-up at the end of the second third, and I've had 2 burn touch-ups in this final third. As far as the components of this cigar, the binder and filler are both from the Dominican Republic, and the wrapper is Nicaraguan. As far as the strength for the cigar goes, as far as the nicotine on it, there is just a little bit there. I'm kind of hit and miss with nicotine. Sometimes, most of the time, cigars don't affect me at all. And then sometimes one just kind of knocks me on my butt. This one has, I would say, just a little bit. So especially if you're a newer smoker and you pick this cigar up, a little bit, I would say, just a little bit. It's not overpowering, but I can feel it just a little bit. Alright, well, that is going to wrap this cigar up then. Smoke time for this cigar came out to 1 hour and 55 minutes. Guys, as always, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this review, have enjoyed other videos, other reviews, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please make sure to leave all your questions and comments below. I'll get to them as they come along. Until next time, guys, be cool to each other, and I will see you soon.